Avenshine has been playing guitar for 21 years, but this guitar has something a little extra special. It's a repurposed cigar box, and he's not the first person to play one either, or build one for that matter. Cigar box guitars are fairly popular, and the sound, incredible. Plus, Presley says the project is half the fun.
It was something so simple. I went to the hardware store and got a few things and found an old box and put it together. And then when I strummed the first time, I thought, you know, wow, this is really, it doesn't sound like a piece of wood stuck through a cigar box. It sounds like a musical instrument.
And Presley says that sound is incredible. It's a blues type feel he says he loves. Plus, no two cigar box guitars sound the same. Presley swears you can have two identical cigar boxes and each box still has its own unique sound.
It is just absolutely incredible when you meet someone that just has the gift of music.
Yeah.
Much like the next woman you're about to meet, Louise Trotter began playing music in the 1920s. The 1920s. Today she is still going strong at the age of 91, and believe it or not, she says when it comes to the important things, not much has changed.
I can play loud or I can play really, really soft.
Louise Trotter has been playing this pedal harp a long time.
I mean, that to me is just so rich.
And at 91 years young, she is still plucking away. She recently played for the small retirement community where she lives.
But if you know music and you play it for people and they get excited, that's the biggest thrill in the world.
In addition to traditional hymns like Amazing Grace, Louise can surprise her listeners with jazz, ragtime, and other styles on two different harps.
I'm roaring through the 40s right now, just like I would if it was the 40s.
Louise started on the piano when she was 6, but when she was 9, she was given a harp, handmade by her father.
It had a soundboard like this.
3 years later, Louise had a store-bought one, and it's the same instrument she plays today.
The years have come along. It's not making one speck of difference in the way I enjoy music or the way I play it.
Louise also has 14 CDs to her name. She often plays some songs that she's composed herself.
I'm doing the same things I did when I was 21, except I'm not on the dance floor.
At 91, she's raised children and had varying careers, but is now focusing on her music, mainly as a way to stay active.
I don't feel it. I feel like I'm back there jitterbugging.
Louise turns 92 next month.
Louise moved to that retirement community back in April. She said it was a hard transition for her because she had to give up her house, but she insists the music helped her tremendously.
Oh, yeah. And you know, music helps plenty of people tremendously. It can be an incredible tool for healing and helping to bring people together. DelmarvaLife Sean Streicher joins us now from Carey's camp in Millsboro, where over the next 2 weeks, they will be holding some great gospel performances. So, Sean, we hear that this camp has been going on for quite some time now.
Lisa, when I go to these events, you know, I hear they've been around for 20 years or 50 years, and that's really impressive. But Carey's camp, well, they've been around for 127 years, so you know they're doing something right. We're going to talk about the history in just a minute. First, I want to introduce you to Dale Dukes and Don Ward. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. Dale, I want to start with you. You're the worship director. Carey's camp, I don't really know much about it, and I know a lot of people don't. Can you explain to me what it is?
Carey's camp is probably the last Methodist camp in the county here and anywhere near around here. This is our 127th session of camp, where people come together for 10 days, 12 days to worship. We have singing and preaching, and it's just a great time to come together and fellowship.
And it is a lot about music. You say people love the music, and that gets kicked off on Wednesday. Who's coming on Wednesday?
We have the Dixie Melody Boys from Kinston, North Carolina. They've been coming up here since 1972. Ed O'Neill, the bass singer, was selected. He's in the Gospel Music Hall of Fame, and he's an awesome guy, and they're just an awesome group. We have a big crowd.
Yeah, you're saying hundreds of people you're expected, and it's open to anybody.
Oh, definitely. It's open to all denominations to come to hear the singing. We have professional groups every night. I think there's 7 different groups this year, and preaching. So it's best of Southern gospel that you can ever hear.
So as we were saying, it's been around for quite some time, and Don over here, Don, you've been coming for 70 years, maybe a little bit longer. Tell me about a little bit about the history.
Well, when people come here today, they look around and they'll see a very unique setting that really you can't find very many places. But 100 years ago, this was not unique. There were Methodist camp meetings that had been established in a lot of communities in Sussex County and in Delmarva Peninsula. So over the years, almost all those Methodist camp meetings have ceased to exist. And Carey's, for reasons that are maybe hard to explain, is still going very strong. And people that come out on Wednesday night will see just how strong it is.
That's something that's really cool here is they call these tents that they're camping in, but they are not tents. These are houses. Tell me about these cool, I guess, residents.
Well, people that are not from the area usually call them cabins. Everybody that's local calls them tents because when the camp first began a few hundred yards down the road, 127 or maybe more years ago, the records are a little vague, they were indeed primitive tents. People would simply cut branches and stakes in the ground and put a canvas tarp over top, and they were tents in every sense of the word, primitive tents. And for the local people, even when they came, moved down here and built wooden structures with metal roofs, the term stuck.
So
and all the locals
tents.
still call them tents.
And they're passed down from generation to generation. Dale, one last question. Tell me, when is Carey's Camp happening this year?
It starts this coming Wednesday night and it goes till August the 9th on Sunday night.
And of course we want to point out that there's youth services. It's not just for the adults. It's a great family activities. Now if you want to see who will be performing at Carey's Camp this year, all you have to do is go to our website, WBOC.com, and click on our picture at the top of the page. Jimmy and Lisa, it is really cool out here, something I never knew about, a lot of people don't know about, so come out and check it out. Back to you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
That's going to be awesome. Not too long from now either. Well, the same music is good for the soul, and now we are headed to the DelmarvaLife kitchen to make something good for the belly. Just after the break, we learned how to make a delicious fried broccoli appetizer, broccoli beignets.
And since we're on our way to the kitchen, let's check in with Rachel Ray for a handy how-to tip for your guacamole dip.
Here is a great double-duty use for a metal baking rack. Yeah, it's great for cooling cookies and cakes, but pop it over a bowl next time you're making guacamole for a crowd. Take your avocados, have them, pop the pit out, and then really just smush it right down into the wire baking rack. It dices the avocado, gets every drop of it away from the skin. How cool is that trick?